Hello guys, Belle here. We are going to be diving into a little bit of a Demonology preview as it is currently in Legion today. I want to make sure that I preface this video by letting you know that Legion, it changes every 5 minutes, so this might not necessarily be set in stone. If you see something you don't like, please don't panic. Now let's talk about Demonology a little bit. Now, Demonology was completely revamped and they completely changed and redesigned the way that it plays. Your core combat abilities are going to be your Called Dreadstalkers, which is something that was added, your Shadow Bolt, your Hand of Gul'dan, your Demonic Empowerment, Doom, Demon Wrath. Those are going to be the basis for what's important when it comes to Demonology. They did change up Demonology as far as you being able to call your Dreadstalkers, and that's being able to command demons on a larger level. Kind of, I took it as kind of like a Hunter Warlock kind of hybrid type of situation, without you actually having your Called Dreadstalkers up at all times. So the way that this breaks down, this is what we're looking at. Your primary stat still is Intellect, and your gear is, you know, it's versatility. It's awful. Versatility. Critical strike is going to be super important, as well as a little bit of haste when it comes to Demonology, from what I understand. Keep in mind, guys, once again, you already know me. I do not mean Demonology. I mean destruction. So since this is basically a completely revamped spec as far as changing the way we knew the gameplay was going to be, Demonology has been broken for a really, really long time. I have actually played Demonology prior to this, and I didn't really understand kind of what was going on. They removed your metamorphosis. There was a lot of changes that they made that kind of, it made sense to me. Although I do miss, you know, that metamorphosis and stuff like that, it didn't really feel like that was needed for a Warlock. So I don't really fret too much about that. If there's some of you hardcore demos out there that are feeling like I might be wrong, it's possible, because I don't main it. So I try not to have any preconceived notions or opinions when it comes to stuff that I don't main, to avoid thinking something that might be invalid because I don't have a core understanding of it, because it's not something that I live and breathe. So let's talk about your talents. For the first set of talents, you have your Shadowy Inspiration. Demonic Empowerment also causes your next Shadow Bolt to be instant. Seems like it's going to be pretty useful utility. Shadow Flame lobs a ball of Shadow Flame at the target, dealing Shadow Flame damage and also dealing additional damage over 8 seconds. This can stack up to 3 times, so I'm thinking this is going to be really, really good for a boss fight. Demonic Calling. Shadow Bolt has a 20% chance to make your next call of Dreadstalkers cost no shards. This might be super helpful for a lot of situations, especially when you're solo. Impending Doom. Doom also summons 1 wild imp when it deals damage. This was pretty cool. The funny thing about this is your imps do often ride your Dreadstalkers, which I found extremely comical when I was doing the... I had to do Demonology for the Class Hall acquisition for the previous video, and I didn't know anything about Demonology because Destro wasn't available when I went and did the Class Hall videos. Improved Dreadstalkers, you get to call 2 Dreadstalkers, which also summon 2 wild imps. They are riding the Dreadstalker. So adorable. Probably some of you guys are like, oh, really, Belle? Adorable? You could still be rugged and manly, guys, so don't worry about that. Your Implosion Demonic Forces suck all of your wild imps toward the target and then cause them to violently explode. I don't really know how I feel about killing other imps. That seems kind of messed up, but who am I to judge? Shit's exploding, stuff's dying, happy about it. Does do damage to all enemies within 8 yards, so that is a nice little AoE, burst damage. Same thing here, your Shadow Fury, your Mortal Coil, these are going to be situational when it comes to PvP. Don't really see much use for these in PvE unless you use Mortal Coil. If you happen to be solo, you could use it as a means of quick escaping and increasing your health just a little bit so that you don't die. Not that us Warlocks ever struggle with keeping ourselves alive, but just in case. Your Demon Skin, once again, is probably going to be something that you'll want to keep as passive, just because your Soul Leech, it really does help keep you alive when needed. Your Hand of Doom, that's the Hand of Gul'dan, now applies Hand of Doom to all targets. You're going to want to keep this. This, to me, is what I kept during the Class Hall acquisition questline that I did. I did enjoy it. I liked having it just because it applied Doom to all the enemies it hits instead of me having to apply Doom one by one. This seemed like it made it a lot easier when I was dealing with a lot of mobs in some of those questlines. Power Trip Demonic Empowerment has a 50% chance to generate 1 soul shard. This might be useful in some situations. Not really sure how much I would integrate it as a Demonology Warlock, but you never know. Soul Harvest also could be an integral part of a burst specifically when there's a lot of soul shard consumption. So you could also consider using that on a situational basis when it comes to PvE and possibly PvE if you're doing arenas and you need to have a quick burst to kill the healer. Demonic Circle, Burning Rush, Dark Pact, these are going to be situational. We all know what those are as warlocks. Those haven't changed outside of now we don't get this as an integral part of being a warlock. We have to actually choose between, really, I use Burning Rush every now and then to be quick when I'm doing solo things, but Dark Pact is my savior when it comes to PvP if a healer can't, if a healer's being CC'd and I need to save my life really, really quickly. Same thing here we've talked about. Your Supremacy's changed. It's not as beefy as it used to be. Your Glamour of Service is still something that I don't really use ever. And this one is your Glamour of Synergy, which that's, you know, is what it is. Damage done by your demon has a 100% chance to grant the other one 30% increased damage. For your Glamour of Synergy, damage done by your demon has a 100% chance to grant the other 30% increased damage. You'll notice that this does not say sacrifice. This is a change, and I think this might be something that I actually chose to use in the leveling process. This one was really cool, the Summon Dark Glare. Summons a Dark Glare for 12 seconds that launches eye lasers at all targets affected by your doom. This was so freaking cool when I was leveling, trying to do the class hall acquisition in Drudskar. Super fun. I'm actually going to show you what that looks like. You then have your Demon Bolt, draws energy from your demons and launches a ball of demonic energy at the target, dealing whatever chaos damage. Damage is increased 20% for each demon you have active. That's super strong ability, guys. So these two is definitely going to be your choice between. I did like the Summon Dark Glare just because it looks really cool. And then once again, you have your Soul Conduit. Might be instances when that is needed, but I don't really feel like it is going to be. So your Demonic Empowerment empowers your active demons with dark energies, increasing their haste and health. I did use this quite a bit in the leveling process, so I did like it. You have your Hand of Gul'dan, does doom your targets. You do all the things. This is going to be, Demon Wrath's going to be your soul shard generator, guys, so this is going to be your filler spell to make sure you have all the soul shards you need. Then you have your Shadow Flame, and we can actually go ahead and call Dreadstalkers so you guys can see what that looks like. Here's your Dreadstalkers. You guys get to see the imps writing it. So freaking ridiculous. I absolutely love that, 150%. And then you can make use of this so that you get your Dreadstalkers get what they need as far as the abilities. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. So that is the damage that is done. Any target that has Doom, that's going to be the target that the Dark Glare hits. So pretty cool. Nice little gameplay. I do like the Dreadstalkers, guys. I'm not going to lie. The Dreadstalkers thing was pretty cool. See, there you got your Dreadstalkers. They got imps. We can go get a closer look at those imps. Ooh, that's kind of creepy. Yeah, those imps make me laugh so much. So that's pretty much the way that the cookie crumbles. This is just what some of the spell animations look like when it comes to being, when it comes to this type of gameplay. And then we can call our Dreadstalkers again. And we can give them a little bit of a beef for Demonic Empowerment. And that's pretty much what that looks like. As you guys see, there's quite a bit of damage that's going out there. Pretty much a blast to play. Fun utility. Keep in mind that some of the stuff's going to be changing, and I don't know how some of this stuff is going to be affected when it comes to the end output. But from what I can see now, guys, it does look rather fun to play. Let's see. I wanted to see if there was anything in regards to, pretty sure I had, before I even get off of here, I wish I could, I don't know where the artifact weapon is for this class, or spec. I guess I don't have it. I guess I should probably acquire it. Well, I don't have the artifact weapon on, as for Demonology, which is kind of weird. Didn't even notice that I didn't have it on there. It also disappeared from my bag. Well, guys, that was a huge embarrassing failure. I will make sure for the artifact questline video that I do for Demonology, because each spec artifact questline, of course, is different. I'll make sure you guys get to see the beautiful skull. Skull of Minari, I think is what it's called. And yeah, that'll be super useful for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Once again, I got DDoSed by that rude rogue. He was here for the Affliction video. If you guys have anything that you want me to cover, if there's anything you're interested in, anything you want to see, any information you want to gather from me, please make sure you guys comment on the video. If you watch this video, it takes 2 seconds to just hit that like button. So if you could do that for me, I'd be super grateful. I'm going to go get on out of here. I'm going to see if I can acquire myself some tacos. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time.